Serious, what are some cosmetic procedures and surgeries that most people don't realize are possible? That it's now very easy to get lens replacement surgery instead of laser eye surgery, replacing the natural lens of the eye with an artificial one to correct vision. It's the same procedure as cataract surgery, but people don't seem to realize it's an option. I feel like a lot of people don't realize their eyelids sagging down and impeding their vision can be covered by their insurance to reduce. I lost 23 of an ear to melanoma but wasn't ever interested in a prosthetic. I had the idea floated by me that they could surgically reconstruct an ear from rib cartilage, modeled on my remaining ear and grown under the skin of my scalp. I now have an ear that, while a little different from the other, is fully a part of me with sensation and everything. Because I work in a customer-facing position teacher, the whole thing took a few years, 3 surgeries, and a handful of broken ribs for crafting components. But it cost me a grand total of return bus fare when I wasn't allowed to drive after anesthetic. I tell the kids I teach that I lost it in a fight with a bear. Edit, because this gained some traction. It's worth mentioning that only a handful of people around the world can do this kind of reconstructive surgery. Part of the delay in getting mine done was because the first guy, Greg O'Toole, spent summers the only time I was free from my teaching job in third world countries, doing cosmetic surgeries to improve the lives of impoverished children. His work can be seen at https://drgregatoole.com. Nail prosthetics. Crushed one of my fingers putting a nail into the wall a few years ago. Was a pretty easy fix. Edit, the nail was an easy fix. The finger I had fixed first was not so easy. Facial reanimation surgery after facial paralysis. Techniques involve a mix of nerve transfers and muscle transfer to return some motion, often for a mix of cosmetic and practical reasons, i.e. eyelid closure. Forehead reduction surgery. Pretty self-explanatory. They hide the scar in your hairline. A pretty popular TikTok gal got it, and while it looked a bit crazy at first, I don't think anyone would notice the scar now that it's healed. Abdominoplasty. Tummy tuck is functional reconstruction of the abdomen after multiple childbirths. Most women, whose abdominal muscles do not rejoin after childbirth, believe they have to put up with reduced functionality, strength, flexibility, and enduring pain, especially in the back. It is a brutal surgery. However, when done by a highly qualified physician, can completely change the lives of those that receive it. Not suitable for all women with abdominal separation, expensive, and most likely not covered under insurance as it is still deemed a cosmetic procedure. Shakes head, but an absolute game changer for many. You can get Botox to help with migraines. I've had migraines for the past 28 years, since I was in 7th grade, and have seen neurologists and other specialists. It wasn't until last November that a new neurologist I'm seeing suggested this procedure rather than just prescribing another triptan med. The Botox is injected into your head and neck and basically paralyzes the nerves in those areas so you don't feel migraine pain. It's not a permanent solution, but it lasts for a while and is definitely something that most people with migraines don't realize is an option for them. Penile prosthetics, where they put a balloon in your dick that you can inflate with water by squeezing a pump behind the ball sack. Supposed to be for people with ED. Father-in-law is a urologist and does a ton of them. Was wild hearing him describe it. Not sure if entirely cosmetic, but I was offered clit hood removal surgery because of a very tiny clit. It felt barbaric to me, so I said no. To those with a sunken chest, pectus excavatum, you actually can have multiple different types of procedures to raise your chest to look like normal. Gum reduction surgery. Many people that have a gummy smile with small teeth actually have regular-sized teeth hiding under the gums. I had it done a few years ago and wish I would have done it sooner. I used to be embarrassed of my smile, now I love everything about it. Scrotum lift. To fix old man balls. And you can use the removed skin for a nice set of curtains. Not technically cosmetic, but absolutely has a noticeable impact on how you look. Rotationplasty. Attach your foot to your knee, backwards, primarily used in leg amputation cases in which the lower leg is cancerous, but the foot and upper leg are okay. It means you'll have a backwards foot instead of a lower leg, and can put that into prosthetics to walk. Blue eye laser surgery. Turns brown eyes permanently blue. You can get the size of your earlobes reduced. Some people think they have big ears, but sometimes it's just the earlobes creating that appearance. It's a pretty simple procedure and can change your life. I've heard that some men now get temple implants to make their head shape more masculine. Doesn't necessarily fit the threat, as laser eye surgery is well known as being possible, but I don't think people realize just how straightforward it is. In and out of surgery in about 10 mins, no pain, just mild pressure. A few hours spent like you've been cutting onions all morning only when eyes are open. Take a nap, then the next day you never have to mess around with contacts or glasses ever again. Well, a decade or two depending. Best money I ever spent, and the cost was spread over 18 months at zero finance. Probably cost as much as I would spend on contacts prescription lenses in a 5-year period anyway. Can't recommend enough. Look into a free consultation ASAP. Elf Ear Body Mod. DEEM or deep flap reconstruction after a mastectomy breast tissue removal. Though apparently, this is quickly becoming the gold standard. I had a bilateral mastectomy back in 2018. The more well-known refill reconstruction options are either implants or B-tram flap reconstruction, which uses abdominal skin, fat, and muscle. Implants have to be replaced every 10 to 15 years, and on rare occasions, they may be rejected by the body or burst. Tram flaps generally reduce your ability to lift due to missing muscle in your abdomen. There are a few different types of tram flap options that use varying amounts of muscle. The DAPE flap or DEEM flap, which is the term my plastic surgeon used, uses skin and fat only. It's normally only available to people with more stomach fat, so that the surgeons have enough to refill the breasts as close to the size they were before surgery. It's essentially a tummy tuck, but the fat gets used instead of being tossed.